going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a review of the recent Beta Ray build rework, guys. So this is absolutely huge for not just his character, but as well as the team itself. So we're gonna be taking a look at that. It's great to see that they, listen to the feedback of those of the community, and we're actually able to make these changes in a pretty short amount of time. So I mean, great to see. Obviously, with this character being the next character, actually, I think his Red Star comes out tomorrow for availability in terms of being able to purchase as well. So I mean, it's great to see this opportunity right before his release. So let's deep dive how it's been and what are the changes and how this will impact his character kit going forward. But overall, it looks like this is a quick summary of the changes, right? So they reduced the energy cost of both his special and ultimate. His basic now generates ability energy for himself and to increase the frequency of use. It changed from Bifrost to Cosmic, which is absolutely huge. We also removed the raid specific requirements, so it just makes his viability outside of raids even bigger. Adding a charge mechanic to synergize better with heroes as guardians, and lastly, removing the non-summon requirement for the ultimate to get more value. So that way, he's not needing to rely on those other characters and to also be useful outside of that team. Okay, let's take a look, guys. So basic ability. So as you can see here, essentially, usually they use the before and after. There we go. Okay, I guess they have it for some, but not for the basic here. So new, they've just essentially added him the opportunity to gain ability energy now, which by the way, for any attack it's huge, because especially in a turn-based game, when you're getting an edge on a one turn faster than your enemy, it can be a difference maker between preventing them from making an attack or giving your team protection to prevent a certain death. And you can see as well, even in the ISO 8 attacks, counterattacks, and assists, he's also gaining ability energy. So to be honest, it might even make more sense to switch from previously. I think it was a skirmisher or raider that we decided, and it would make more sense now to have the striker, so that way he is capitalizing on the additional energy for not just from his basic, but he can also use that then later for special and ultimate. Special Thunderclap, very similar to what Thor had before too, but you can see here, now it's a cost of 5 as opposed to 6. He's also applying defense up to a maximum of 3 times, and as well as defense up, deflects to all cosmic allies. So it's not just Bifrost now. It makes his versatility in other teams, being a slotting character, much more useful, and that right there is going to provide dividends across all the different cosmic characters, but as well, you could even add some Dark Dimension 6 viability now, especially with Sylvie and obviously Val both being in that cosmic setting as well. Ultimate ability, Battleship, Scuttlebutt. So this is the really signature attack for him. So just to get this notable addition now and to reduce the energy by 2, it's absolutely huge. So it went from a total cost of 10 to 8, obviously. So starting at 6 energy is already one step closer to being able to use the ability. He's going to attack all enemies for the 5% damage per positive effect on self, which is consistent, but you can see in raids is when he got that benefit, whereas now it's going to be across the board. Also, what they've added is if there's a group of heroes as guardian allies, just as guardian, so it include characters like Loki and Hela, he's also gaining additional extra damage on top of that. So it's just a really notable ability. And it's going to be able to devastate now, and it synergizes more with the Asgardian allies. And then last but not least, passive Stormbringer's Might. So previously, before, this is this is the most important context, because you can get all the load of benefits here from the passive. So this is probably the one that did the most work in terms of making him viable. This is what's new. On spawn now, his defense up is going to be applying for 2 turns, 3 death proofs, deflects to himself, Bifrost, and as well as heroes as Guardian. So more specifically, it doesn't mention Loki and Hela as the other Asgardians, so they're not going to get value, it seems, unfortunately, there. When this character does drop below that 50% threshold, he's also going to be healing. So it's kind of consistent with what we've seen with the Asgardian allies, which is great to see for that synergy. Val drops below 50%. He's also going to be healing for max HP, and as well as gaining taunt to protect Val. We see on the selfing ally crit too, he's going to be gaining charges, kind of similar to the mechanic we see in his Guardians. And then as well, on any of the character's turn, if he has 4 more charges, he's going to attack the enemy for the highest HP, applying defense down as well. So it's kind of similar to Thor's mechanic. Great to see that. Instead of the AoE damage that Thor does utilize. It's more targeted, and applying defense down is pretty notable as well as all Bifrost allies gaining that 60% armor. So these are big upgrades, guys. Nothing to his stats, obviously, but just his overall mechanical usage and synergy now with his Guardians is huge. Almost, you know, rocketing him to either maybe the second most important or third, next to Sylvie and Val. Obviously, Val's just gonna have that place because of what Val's bringing to the team and the versatility of Val in other teams. But yeah, this is huge, guys. It's great to see this feedback being obviously communicated, and then now these changes are reflected, and it's huge for the community, and great to see for not just the community, but as well that, you know, feedback is being heard, and that's really the biggest message here. In other news, guys, there was a data mine as well on the upcoming Pestilence Scourge event. So you can see here, it seems like this is going to be one of the last opportunities as well to earn shards of Morgan Le Fay through the ranked rewards and original milestones. So it just means it was a really easy way to get shards of her. I don't know how this is going to change going forward, but it sounds like behind the scenes now they are working on something in terms of creating the Scourge events as more of a recurring theme, but they'll likely have to revise maybe how shards are distributed or how the leaderboard, if that even exists, going forward. But just a heads up, it's coming up. It could be released in this week's Marvel Strike Force blog post, but we'll definitely keep you guys up to date as we hear back. But we knew this was coming, as they mentioned it before. We just wasn't sure, you know, the frequency of it and how often this is going to be occurring, if it's going to be similar to what we've seen in the past with other recurring legendary events. That's it for now, guys. Thank you as always if you appreciate sharing my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.